I popped out of the screen and popped back in. Let me know you guys can still see my screen. We're going over this boldness content, how to improve your will with 10 tips. Type in yes if you can still see my screen. Kelly Votman can still see it. Excellent. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about how to improve this will. All right, now with improving this will, right, it ain't no game, right? There is some serious action required. Number one, your team leaders probably knows how to make some pretty good wills happen, so holler at them. But I'm gonna need you guys to take action on this, because if you do not take action on this information, your will today may look like this, and your will tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday will look the same. So don't take this information as, oh, this is great, and don't make any changes. I need you to take action on the information I'm about to give you, and that way you can see major changes like this, right? Listen to the information, take big action. That way we get results. The more you change, the more your will change. All right, so let's keep it moving. All right, the key focus in this thing, and here's the reason why most people's wills are just not where they want to be, is there's just not enough protein. So if there's not, if I have a 100% pie and I only carve out 10% of it, that leaves 90%. So I got this pie, it's this real healthy, like egg white, pie, right? And that's what it is. And I cut out 10% of it, okay? And I take that 10%, and that 10% that I take out is protein, right? That leaves 90% of the pie for everything else, which means 90% for carbs and fat. So if I only carve out a 10%, then that means I'm leaving 90% for everything else. There's just no way your will is going to look right if you're only, 10% of your will is made up of protein, right? It's just, it's thirds. It's cutting the three in the third. So if one third is only 10%, then guess what? You're just off. You're off the 8 ball right away. So up your protein. Get the protein number right, and we'll be okay. Can you eat too much protein? I would have to question. Well, can you eat too much protein? Generally, no. I'm gonna say that. Now, here's how you can eat too much protein. If you eat so much protein that you're going over your calorie budget, then yeah, you're eating too much protein. We still want to stay within our calorie budget. In general, just let you guys know right out the gate, you need to be somewhere at about 100 grams to 100 to about 125 grams per day. And no, that is not too much protein. So if that was a question, then yeah. But if you're eating like 500 grams of protein, well, 500 times 4 is 900, which means 900 calories of your food would come from protein. Now, yeah, that would be doing a little bit too much. All right, so I'm exaggerating, but I hope you get the point. So here's some examples of protein: organic lean, obviously organic lean meats, fish, salmon, quinoa, lentils, chickpeas, and this kind of gives you an idea of how many grams of protein per serving you're going to get with each of these. Okay, so lean fish, 25 to 30 grams. Okay. Lean chicken breast, 20 to 25 grams. Okay. So just kind of give you guys, but there's also Greek yogurts, things like that, almonds, obviously nuts, things like that for your snacks to help you get that protein in. Okay. So my first tip is set protein goal. I just told you guys, you need roughly about 125 grams a day, right? If you really want to get that will right. All right, which is going to comprise of about 500 calories, right? Because for each gram of protein, it's about 4 calories. So 125 times 4 equals 500. So that means 500 of your calories coming from protein. Let's say the other 500 comes from your carbs, vegetables, fruits, brown rice, oatmeal, things like that. So 500 plus 500, that's 1,000, which only leaves about another 200 to 300 calories for your fats. Okay, so really what you want to do is you want to have balance. Balance your protein with your complex carbs. All right. So first things first, let's set that protein goal. Right. Number 2, set a protein goal by meal. Right. I don't want you to get all 125 grams of protein in one meal. Right. That's not going to be very useful because your body's just not going to absorb all of that. So you want to get it in about 20 to 25 gram chunks. So if I get 20 to 25, so let's say I get 20 grams. And I eat 5 meals, right? 5 times 20 is 100, right? So if I get 25 with each, and I eat 5 meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 healthy snacks, then boom, there's 125 right there. But I see a lot of people starting their day with a breakfast that's just all carbs, right? And then the first snack, all carbs. Like it's just hard to balance your will out when you're so carb heavy right from the jump. So make sure to try and if you've been having, like, let's just say oatmeal for your breakfast by itself, try to add in a protein with that. Maybe have a protein shake with it, or add some egg whites to it. And sometimes you're like, oh, Coach Z, I had some egg whites with it. I'm like, how many? One. Well, great. I'm glad you had egg whites. That was good. But what about having 4 egg whites, right? Because one egg white, I mean, we're talking like maybe 10 grams of protein, or maybe like 5 grams. But if I have 4 of them, now I got 20 grams, right? To balance out with my 20 grams of carbs. Okay, now we're getting there. So again, try to have protein with each meal. I'm gonna try and get it all in one serving, okay? Meal prep is the key. That's why we've been emphasizing it throughout this challenge. Meal prep, meal prep, meal prep. If you plan to get 20 to 25 grams with each meal because you meal prepped it and all you got to do is eat it, then guess what? You're going to do it so long as you eat what you planned it out. So you can actually map this thing out. Just like if you were, trying to save money for a trip, you say, okay, look, we're going on this trip to Jamaica at the end of the year. And I need 12. I'm going to just throw out an easy number. So, I know this probably isn't true. We need $1,200 to go on this all-inclusive trip to Jamaica, right? So how are we going to do that? Well, what if we just saved $100 a month over the next 12 months? Good. That's a plan to get you to that $1,200. So when it comes to getting 125 grams of protein, plan that thing out. How am I going to get it with each meal? If you meal prep it and then just eat it, okay, you can meal prep your way to 125 grams or more protein a day. Okay, so meal prep is key. Next thing is, we got to read these labels, ladies. Got to read the labels. And don't read the front side of the label. That's all marketing. The back side is what you need to see. And the thing that you need to be looking for, again, protein. How much protein is in the meal? Is in the food that you're eating? How many carbs? What's the fat? How many calories? What's the sugar, right? That's the things you need to be looking at. Because sometimes you'll get a protein shake, right? And I see it all the time. And on the front of the label, it says 30 grams of powerful protein. Like, okay, cool. And then you flip the label around and all of a sudden you see that there's 30 grams of sugar to go along with it. All right. So 30 grams of protein, great. But then you also, like, you just had a Snickers bar to go along with it. Okay. So if you're eating, understand what the purpose of each food that's on your plate. All right. What's the point in this chicken on my plate? Is it for protein or is it for carbs? Because if it's for protein, great. But if it's for carbs, then no, it's not great. All right. This brown rice, what's the point of it on my plate? Is it for good, healthy carb, complex carb? Great. Is it for protein? Then no, it's not great. Okay. So understand the point of each of what you're about to eat. I want high protein. So if I want high protein, then I don't want to see, I want to see high protein here, but I don't want to see a bunch of carbs here. Does that make sense? Right? If the purpose is protein, I want to see this, and I want to see low this. Now, if it's a meal replacement shake where it's trying to do protein and carbs all in one to give you, make you feel a little bit fuller, meal replacement shake, then yeah, 25 grams of protein, 25 grams of carbs, we cool. But also keep an eye on that sugar. All right. So point here, read the labels, ladies. Know what you're putting in your body. All right. Here's a nutrition label for a Snickers bar. 33 grams of carbs, 250 calories, 4 grams of protein. So what is this going to do for your will? Not very good if the point here is trying to get some protein in, right? High carbs, high fat, low protein. All right, your will is jacked. Okay. And then another thing that you can do is review your will as the day goes along. You don't have to wait to the end of the day to actually look at your will and see what the heck's going on. You can review your will as the day goes along. So you don't have to wait until the end of the day and it be like a surprise, like it's a Jack in the Box, like you're turning the thing and it's just boom, surprise. Oh, here's your will. Oh, it sucks. Oh man, there's nothing you can do about it at the end of the day. But what if you look at it midday and you're like, man, this isn't where I wanted to be. So then you can adjust, right? And try and get more protein in with each meal. Maybe add in an extra protein shake or something like that, or add in an extra high protein food to help that will balance out. Okay. So don't review it at the end of the day and just be surprised. Review it as you go. Okay. And I know some people even put their stuff in the Fitness Pal, review the wheel before they eat it. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. No, I need more of this. Or I need more of that. All right. Tori's got some good nuggets she's dropping in the chat box here. I can't see them all, but I can see she's dropping some good nuggets on you guys. So look at what Tori's saying. She's at 100% of goal. I'm not sure if you've seen her before and after picture, but a girl got toned up, and she did it by getting her wheels together and getting her workouts done. So she's dropping knowledge in the chat box. You guys should pay attention to that. Shit, Tori, you could probably teach this class right now. Wheel improvement plan number 6. Understand how your plate should look. All right. Here's the grains. Here's the protein. Look, balanced out. Look at that. Balance. Just as much of this, 25 grams here, maybe 25 grams there. And then we got our leafy greens. All right. That's what the plate should look like. Half of your plate should be leafy greens. This is low calorie stuff over here. All right. High protein right here. And then we got our energy from the complex carbs right there. Okay. So 1/4, 1/4, 1/2. That's what your plate should look like. Okay. Giving you an example here. Okay. A 308 calorie meal. You know, got my lean meat over here, 37 grams of protein from a one chicken breast fillet, 140 calories. And then 30 grams of carbs from my half a cup of brown rice, which is another 108 calories. My broccoli, 1 cup of broccoli, filling up the spot right here, 60 calories, all in total, 308. That's a lot. That's a lot of food, y'all. Let me ask you guys this. How much do you think that's a lot of food? For 308 calories, do you think that's a lot of food? And look at this, only 3 grams of fat in this whole thing. Where's the fat coming from, right? You know, obviously there's not like zero fat in your lean meats. But I mean, that's a hefty, you know, 308 calories. You're going to be full from that. All right. And that's what your wheel's going to look like after doing exactly just that. All right. Doing exactly what I told you. This is what your meal's going to look like. 50% protein, 41% carbs, 9% fat. All right, that's what that wheel is going to look like. Okay, just kind of give you guys an example. So you could look at your wheel after this meal and be like, "All right, I'm on it. All right, I'm on my way." Okay. Limit the fats. Okay, so I know, you know, there's like, okay, yeah, they're healthy fats. And healthy fats are good in moderation. So I'm not saying never have like healthy fats. But you also have to limit them, because healthy fats, although healthy, they do drive up calories. So you're going to be, you know, there's going to be, in other words, less food on your plate, because if it's fat, even if it's healthy, is more calories. 9 grams or 9 calories per gram of fat versus lean meats and proteins, which is only 4. So just be mindful of it. Don't have your whole diet be made up of just healthy fats, because you know, it's just not, it's, you know, you want to talk about blowing up your wheel, you know, it can do that. So just, again, in moderation. Or let's say you have like an avocado one day, and you know, your wheel's a little bit off. Okay, no big deal, you know, but don't have like avocado, like a whole large avocado every day, because it's just gonna destroy your wheel every time. So with that being said, let's compare a medium avocado with our meal of half a cup of brown rice, chicken breast, and broccoli. How about we do that? Okay. So a medium avocado, all right, looks a little something like that, 240 calories. And my chicken breast, my broccoli, and my brown rice over here, 308. Okay. Now, how full are you going to be from one medium avocado versus what's over here? Okay, just to kind of give you guys a comparison, it's a difference of 68 calories, right? If I eat this, man, I'm gonna be hungry in like 30 minutes, an hour tops. All right, if I eat this, like I'm cool for like 2.5 to 3 hours. You want to be eating more of this than this. Again, good healthy fat, 100%. Agree with you on that, but high calorie, right? So just be mindful of that. I just wanted to share with you guys the difference between one and the other, and what can happen with your will because of it. Again, if you're gonna have healthy fat, do it in moderation. And no skipping meals, lady. I see sometimes like, now I'm talking about the wheels, but I'm gonna kind of jump away from that for 1 second here. I've been seeing some like low calorie days, and I want you guys to make sure you're over 1,000 calories a day. Okay. I don't want you guys starving yourself to try and get results, because I want you guys to prepare for the long haul, right? The longevity. Because after this challenge is over, I don't want you to be, eating 500 calories a day, challenge is over, and then you go back to eating, higher calories. No, I want you to eat, a good moderate amount of calories now that's healthy, pretty decent will. And then after the challenge is over, keep doing that. I want you to do something that you can sustain. This isn't about just, getting, losing a bunch of weight for the challenge and then, falling off the map after it. It's about doing something, getting the habit, and sustaining the habit after the challenge. We can sustain eating 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 calories a day. We cannot sustain eating 500, 600, 700 calories a day. That's just too low, ladies. So just keep that in mind as we move this thing forward. All right. Utilize supplements where needed. So protein shakes. Make sure you read the labels on those things. Make sure you're getting, if you're getting it from protein, make sure that that's what it says on the back. No high sugar stuff. One shake's okay. Remember, if you're not getting enough protein, it's a supplement. It's supplementing what you're not getting. So utilize that. All right, here's some good ones. I'm really big on this one right now. It's kind of and the reason I like it is I'm finding I have less time in the morning. And I get this from Costco. It's just grab and go. I just grab the thing, go. So my breakfast in the morning lately has been a cup of oatmeal. All right, and I don't recommend you ladies eat a cup. I'm a gentleman here. So, but I'm eating a cup of oatmeal, sometimes a cup and a quarter, and then I'm grabbing one of these. So I got my protein, I got my carb, and I'm out. Okay, so these are real quick grab and go type of things, but you can also make your own protein shakes. Those don't take long. Throw it in the shaker, but use it to your advantage. All right, and then okay, if we're meal prepping, right, we're not eating out. So limit the eating out. Just limit the eating out, because nothing good is going to happen from your will in general from eating out. Okay. All right. So here's where you guys should focus. More protein, balance your plate, be prepared. Those are the three things you need to focus on as we move forward in the next 2 weeks of this challenge. More protein, balance your plate, be prepared. Hopefully the information I just shared with you kind of shedded some light on that, so you can make the changes that you need to make in order to get that will right. All right. I want you guys to leave this challenge with, maybe your will was like really, really bad in the beginning, and I want to see the improvement to a better will by the end of this challenge. If we did that, then we did our job. All right. The more you change, the more you'll see your will change. So take these 10 tips that I just gave you and take massive action on it, so that you can see the changes you want to see. Be consistent. Stay within your calorie budget, and look at that will. All right. So this is my thing. All right, Kaizen. All right, change and good. Put it together as Kaizen. It's continuous improvement. I don't need to see a perfect will tomorrow if it hasn't been that way in the past. In fact, I don't need to see a perfect will by Tuesday. I just want to see that you're making continuous improvement. I want to see that maybe you didn't meal prep the week before, and now all of a sudden you're meal prepping. I just want to see a little bit of change each week until we get it right. All right. I don't need perfection. I just need a little bit of progress each and every week. All right. We'll get there. Okay. So that is my how to get your will improved. Hopefully you guys got some good little nuggets out of that. Take massive action on it. And I'm going to just jump in and see if you guys have any questions right here at the end, because we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Sybil says, thanks. You got it, Sybil.